TREY Augustine and Jesse Kiiskinen play their pro debuts while Dylan James signs his entry-level contract.
Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome back to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We are a podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, Connor.
And I'm the other host, Kyle. We're a show by fans for fans. We are not officially partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins or Detroit Red Wings. We are season ticket members. We watch a lot of Grand Rapids Griffins hockey. We love to bring the Griffins news to the forefront so those around can hear it. It's the perfect time of the year to catch on and listen to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast, as now the Detroit Red Wings have been eliminated from the playoffs. So if you need your hockey fix, go ahead and listen to us. So we got all sorts of good news. TREY Augustine makes his pro debut. Didn't go that well for him, but we got Jesse Kiiskinen as well joining the train, and it looks like just more players to come. So exciting stuff over here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, Dylan James signed a contract too. So Dylan James will be reporting to the Griffins also. Dylan James, assistant captain of North Dakota Fighting Hawks. He had 4 years there. Really huge part of that team. Playing 40 games with 32 points, with 21 goals and 11 assists with a plus 17. 89 points there in his 4 years there at North Dakota. So really good numbers, and with that assistant captain on them, that's what you're looking for a prospect, someone with that leadership. And welcome to Grand Rapids.
Yeah, so we'll be looking to see Dylan James soon here in a Griffins jersey. Fun stuff. He was in the Frozen Four tournament, eliminated before the championship game. So a lot of these NCAA players have turned out to be quite elite. So getting some help from the NCAA this year with TREY Augustine and Dylan James. We got to talk about TREY Augustine as well. He won the Mike Richter Award as the best goalie in the nation for the NCAA.
Yeah, he played 3 years there at MSU. He's going to go down in history books as one of the best ever to play there at MSU. So congratulations to TREY Augustine on that Mike Richter Award. That's for the best goalie in the NCAA. Very, very big award. And yeah, last year you played 34 games with a 2.11 goals against average and a .929 save percentage.
Yeah, so coming over to Grand Rapids, playing his pro debut. That is some exciting stuff, joining this elite goaltender room. Then we have the reassigning, I should say, of Jesse Kiiskinen coming from the Liiga HPK, the Finnish league. So the Finnish men's hockey league, top tier league over in Finland. Jesse Kiiskinen putting up 17 goals. He had 11 assists for 28 points this year. A little bit of a step down from last season. He had 46 games played and 44 points. So only getting 28 points in more games this year is a touch step down. It looks like maybe HPK struggled a little more this season, but that's just an assumption on my end. Seeing his numbers, and his plus minus dropped to a -4, where last year it was a +6. So hopefully we can get him over here to Grand Rapids, get him in the system, and start to get him to figure out what he's going to look like for next year.
Yeah, I'd say Jesse Kiiskinen kind of stood out to me a little bit at camp this year, and the prospect games and all that fun that goes on in the summer. He kind of stood out there, so hoping he can bring some of that energy to the Griffins, because we're about to go into a deep playoff run.
Yeah, and look out for him. He will be wearing number 16 in a Griffins jersey, so exciting stuff there as we get a top-tier player from Liiga. Then we got to mention as well Justice Christensen. Then we have also signed Justice Christensen, who is the captain for the Prince Albert Raiders. He finished his 4th season this year. and his second season as being the captain. This season for the Prince Albert Raiders, Justice Christensen in 63 games scored 18 goals, 30 assists for 48 points, and was a plus 36. So some really good numbers there out of the WHL for Justice Christensen, a 20-year-old defenseman who we will be looking forward to see next year. This is kind of the time of the year where Grand Rapids likes to look around and see who's available as free agents, and looks like a good pickup, a good young kid that we can sign and bring in from the WHL that maybe was missed over in the draft. So we'll take him and see what he can bring over. Another captain leadership type player joining the Griffins.
And then while we're on the note of talking about some of these prospects, we got to mention Max Plante from the Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs, Red Wings prospect. I believe he was our second round pick. He won the Hobie Baker Award. So that's the best college hockey player.
Yeah,
in the
very
whole thing.
prestigious award to win in the NCAA.
Yeah, so he had played the last 2 years at Minnesota Duluth. He had 52 points in 40 games. So that's more than a point per game. So fabulous numbers by him. And he was assistant captain there. So another guy with leadership.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Max Plante, they were eliminated. Minnesota Duluth was eliminated by Michigan before the final for the Frozen Four tournament. So very much so contending into that matchup. So
yeah, so we can get into our injury report. We have Nate Dogg still out. Nate Danielson still having an aggravating injury. No really new news on the front of that.
yeah, just kind of the same old news from Bob Kaiser. Waiting for him to come back, just waiting for some injury news. It sounds like it's been sealed lips for the Grand Rapids Griffins on Nate Daniels.
And you got to think, too, with all these players coming in, there's Noah Dower Nielsen that signed a contract, too. I'm not sure he's coming to GR, but if he does come over to North America, there's a lot of guys. Danielson gets healthy. That means some of these guys might get pushed down to Toledo.
Right. Some of these guys could go down to Toledo and help them in their late season, and then it sure seems like some of these players are also just fighting for a spot on this Grand Rapids roster to compete for this Calder Cup. Some of them, I would say, deserve a spot, and some of these new players are going to have to earn a spot.
Yeah, and then there is also the guys like Alex Doucette and Carson Bantle, those kind of guys that might be sent down to Toledo too, because they've already been sent down. I mean, there's just more guys coming. It's like there's no one's job is safe at this point. Like if you perform and you're the guy, the best player is going to get that spot. So it's really cool to see all these horses in the race.
Yeah, it's fun to watch and just breathes fun for the future. And you know, the future will be fun to watch here in Grand Rapids. So we'll get into our recent games here as we kind of talk about these players that have brought in, TREY Augustine and Jesse Kiiskinen making their pro debuts. Augustine made his pro debut April 10th against the Chicago Wolves in Grand Rapids. Unfortunately, things didn't go that well for him. Defense didn't really keep Chicago out of our zone, and they were kind of pestering all game. Again, some amazing saves by Augustine for this one to kind of stay in hand, but the offense not helping him out a whole lot in his debut, and we lose this one 4-1. And Chicago really looking tough at the end of the season here.
Yeah, the time before that we played here, we actually went into overtime with Chicago, and that was a really, really thriller of a game. So yes, this playoffs is going to be really fun this year with all these teams coming in. Milwaukee is a really crazy team that we want to fight with all the time. So they'll be in their mix if they get 1 point coming Sunday. They get a point against Iowa, they're clinched, and that will be the top 5 teams all clinched. But yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, Michael Brandsegg-Nygard with the only goal for Grand Rapids in this one. And we can move into the next game, which was a Saturday night game, the final home game of the season, fan appreciation night. They were doing giveaways throughout the arena. Random seat numbers were called and random boxes of sponsor paid for items were delivered to your seats. So just kind of fun for the fans, a little better than last year. Still not, a lot of people are still kind of didn't, walk home empty handed, but good deals at the zone. So fan appreciation night, a little better than last year for sure.
Yeah, they didn't really do much last year at all. So it's a big step up. I've seen multiple season ticket members get, like, I saw the guy who won the TV. Really cool seeing, those are the kind of people that definitely deserve it. The people who spend all the money to come here and watch this great hockey team, support the community.
Yeah, and then also the season ticket renewal jerseys, those are kind of a cool thing that they're doing as well. So buying a jersey in with the early bird renewal package, always fun stuff there. But we'll kind of go over this game. The Grand Rapids Griffins didn't look too good in this one either, as Koso started out. We looked pretty good right off the bat in the first period. Ended up just kind of giving up 2 goals and scored 1. So things just kind of turned sour for this game after the solid start.
Yeah, it looked like the Griffins were on fire coming out of the locker room. Fan appreciation. It seemed like we're getting a lot of shots on net and everything like that. And then obviously the Ice Hogs scored twice on Kosa. In the first period, the Griffins get their only goal by Alex Doucette. He gets a nice little snipe there with a pass from Seeger coming into the zone there. Gets a nice snipe right up into the net. And then a scoreless second period. And then third period, the Ice Hogs end up getting 3 goals on the Griffins. Griffins come back and get 1 more goal with Sheldon Dries. A pass from Jesse Kiiskinen with a nice little tip in. Jesse Kiiskinen with the pass, getting his first AHL point ever, and Sheldon Dries getting his 23rd goal of the year.
Yeah, so some good stuff for Grand Rapids, but unfortunately just fell apart late, and then the 2 empty net goals just didn't help out the situation. And the empty net goals were kind of bad, I will say. I mean, they ended quick once we pulled our goalie. So better luck next time to the Griffins, as we're going to have to take the rest of the season on the road, and we'll be playing Iowa next. So we'll have to line up for that one. But now that these games have been played, we'll get into the division standings, where the Grand Rapids Griffins are 49-15, 4-1. They are the top team in the Central Division. They have clinched the Western Conference, winning the Robert Clark Trophy. So with 103 points for Grand Rapids, in second place we have the Chicago Wolves with 79. In third place we have the Texas Stars with 75. In fourth place we have the Manitoba Moose with 72. In fifth place we have the Milwaukee Admirals with 69 points. In sixth place, currently not in the playoffs, the Rockford Ice Hogs with 61, and the Iowa Wild eliminated from the playoffs.
For the Milwaukee Admirals to clinch, they just have to get a point against the Iowa Wild on Sunday, April 12th.
Yeah, Iowa Wild having more games played than Rockford, that being why they are eliminated. Rockford is not yet. So it's very, very likely could be happening next time we talk. Rockford will most likely be out of the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's pretty much wraps up how it's going to go. It's looking like Chicago is going to stay there in that second place spot, most likely, and then they'll either be playing Texas or Manitoba. Manitoba actually creeping up close to Texas, trying to get into that bye week the first week, because the fourth place and fifth place team actually play each other for a playing round, and then the winner of that game will play the Griffins, and then the second place and third place will play, and then the winners of those will be the Central Division Championship, and then you'll go to the Conference Championship, and then if you get that far, that's the Calder Cup Finals. So big road ahead. Got home field advantage for the first part, for sure, unless we make it to the finals and play the Providence Bruins. The Providence Bruins kind of looking like they're going to take that first place spot with these 2 losses. They're sitting at like 108 points, and we're just kind of out of the race there with only 3 games left.
That'll get us into our Griffins stats. We'll go over the point leaders first. John Leonard in first place with 53 points. In second place, Sheldon Dries with 44 points, tied with Michael Brandsegg-Nygard with 44 points. He's been explosive as of late. In fourth place, we have a tie with Edward Strawmax and Amadeus Lombardi, both at 39 points.
Cool seeing Michael Brandsegg-Nygard up there in second place, being a first-year guy down here. Grand Rapids Griffins goal leaders, we have John Leonard in first with 32 goals. Second place, we have Edward Strawmax with 25 goals. Third place, we have Sheldon Dries with 23 goals. Fourth place, we have Dominic Stein with 21 goals. In fifth place, we have Michael Brandsegg-Nygard with 20 goals.
Yeah, and with the elimination of the Detroit Red Wings, it looks like we'll probably be getting Dominic Stein back down here to pick up where he left off, as he's been in the top tier since he went up to the Detroit Red Wings. So we'll go to the assist leaders now, where Eric Gustafson has been tearing it up. He's got 31 now. In second place, we have Amadeus Lombardi with 25 assists. In third place, we have Michael Brandsegg-Nygard with 24 assists. And tied for fourth place, we have Sheldon Dries and John Leonard with 21. That's your top 5 for assists.
So our plus minus, our last thing for players, we have William Lagesson still leading the way with plus 30. Then second place, you have Ante Tuomisa with plus 27. Third place, you got Edward Strawmax with plus 26. Fourth place, you got Dominic Stein with plus 25. And fifth place, you got Eric Gustafson with plus 19. Get into our goalie stats. Michael Pastava, getting called up to the Red Wings, is now back on the unqualified goalie list. So Sebastian Cosa's with save percentage is first place, because our only qualified goalie, .917. And then you got our non-qualified goalies. You got Carter Gallagher with .942, Michael Pastava with .935, and TREY Augustine with a .897. Save percentages.
Then for goals against average, we have Sebastian Cosa as the qualified goalie with a 2.28. For non-qualified goaltenders, we have Carter Gallagher with a 1.62. In third place, we have Michael Pastava with a 1.78. And in fourth place, we have TREY Augustine with a 3.04. Only one game played for TREY Augustine. And stellar numbers for all the goalies right here, really, still.
Yeah.
And that should wrap us up for our Griffins news, standings, and stats. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll get back to you with our hot and cold.
No sport flips faster than hockey. One power play, a goalie pulled with 2 minutes left, and everything changes. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for that kind of chaos, with live betting from puck drop to the final buzzer. And DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If you place a pre-game player prop bet and your player starts the game but leaves in the first period due to an injury and doesn't return, you'll get your bet back in cash. No bonus bets, no opt-in, just real protection when injuries happen early. New sportsbook customers bet $5, and if your bet wins, get $300 back in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN so you're ready for the moment. That's code THPN. Turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
So welcome back. We're going to get into our hot and cold segment. In this segment, we like to pick a player who is fiery hot and a player who is icy cold, someone who's not living up to expectation. And then we like to randomly generate a number, match that with the jersey number, and then talk about that player, rate them on a scale to hot to cold. So, Kyle, who are we throwing in hot?
We're going to call Michael Brandsegg-Nygard hot. He's had 7 points in his last 5 games here, 4 goals and 3 assists. So impressive numbers, as, again, Connor said, a rookie for the Grand Rapids Griffins this year. In 58 games played, he's got 20 goals for 24 assists and 44 points for second place, tied for second place on the team, and a plus 19. So really solid numbers overall, and yeah, the plus 19 for 5-on-5 stat is just boding well for him as well.
His forecheck is just crazy. I don't know if he did learn that from Dominic Shine, but his relentlessness and his forecheck, and obviously that plus 19 shows that he's very good defensively too. So he's just an all-around good player, and he has a really wicked shot, and he can score. So look for him to be earning his wings and going up to Detroit again and actually getting some goals up there.
Yeah, and I just hope that Michael Brandsegg-Nygard can kind of translate and teach what he's learned from Shine onto Eddie Genborg, because it seems like they have a similar style of play, being physical and slamming on the net, have a quick shot and a nice heavy one-timer. So I'm noticing similar styles of play from these two players, and it's good to have them under the same roof on the same team. Then we can go ahead and talk about our cold player.
So for cold, we have Alex Canuck-Lepert. He has 1 point and -1 in his last 10 games. He's played 62 games. He's got 1 goal, 13 assists, so 14 points with a plus 11. So he's been solid. He's been kind of an aggressor. He's been there standing up for guys and fighting when needed. But there's just been an addition of so many guys. Like Anton Johansson is really stepping it up. And I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the guys that's here for the long run. I mean, obviously, he's found a way to stay in the lineup 62 games this year. And it's along the same lines of like Valinder. I mean, they found ways to stay in the lineup and be just consistent contributors throughout the season. And it's mattered. They've been in the lineup. It's just as of late, he hasn't, in my opinion, really given Coach Watson too much of a reason to keep him in the lineup over some of these top tier prospects coming in. And now, since Shai Buium's been healthy, and now Anton Johansson, and just guys keep coming in, and it looks like we're probably going to acquire Axel Sandin Pellikka with the elimination of the Red Wings. Some of these guys are going to have to sit out, and I know Alex Canuck-Lepert is going to be one of those guys that probably have to sit out a night here or there, but hopefully he can find his way into the lineup in some of these playoff matchups, because we're going to need him when things get physical. So we can go ahead and move on from cold and talk about our random player now. So we're going to dial up a random number and match it to a jersey number for a Grand Rapids Griffin. And today that's number 8. So Shai Buium, we can talk about Shai Buium. Connor, what have you got to say?
I think he's been out for the first part of the year. He came back after that injury, and I feel like he started out really slow. and he had a lot of defensive woes. It felt like he wasn't really necessarily clicking in with this defense that's been playing so great with all these veterans. But with the losses of Justin Hall and Ian Mitchell, I feel like he's kind of started to fit right into place. He's starting to show more of that offense, and he's been solid on the defense. And overall, he's a solid defender. I think I wouldn't say he's hot necessarily, but I'd say he's warming up.
Yeah, I know he was when he first came back. It took him a little bit of time to get back into the groove of things. It seems like he's found his way back onto the top of, let's just say he's been on power play and penalty kill, and he's been getting minutes on the ice with this team, this good Grand Rapids Griffins team. So finding a way to stay in the top 4, I'd say. And yeah, so good things from Shai Buium. Just I don't think he's quite hot yet. So I think he's rounding that curve, though.
Welcome to the Griffins Earning Their Wings. In this segment, we like to talk about Griffins earning their Red Wings or Griffins on the verge to make the AHL or former Griffins who are in their quest or playing in the AHL, just Griffins alumni or the success of Griffins in general. So we're going to talk about Michael Pastava today. Michael Pastava being called up and under emergency conditions and being sent back down. But his numbers are looking good, really good. I mean, playing 23 games this year with 15 wins and 1.78 goals against average and a .935 save percentage. He has staggering numbers. He was qualified there for a minute until the Red Wings did call him up, and he was the first #1 goalie in the whole entire AHL. So he's definitely on his way up. Him and Kosa are the tandem duo. We have the addition of TREY Augustine, and it's interesting to see how that's going to work next year. Thinking Kosa or Michael Pastava maybe having more time up on the Red Wings and leaving some of the duties down here to swap with Augustine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I personally thought that Kosa should have got a little bit more of a chance on the Red Wings, or at least Pastava getting a game or two up there, just to see how they perform in an NHL environment against NHL talent. I'd really just kind of, with the addition of Gibson and, retaining Talbot, you got to wonder how much game time that leaves for these players next season. So hopefully next season Kosa gets at least like 20 games or so up there. One would hope, but I don't know. It's all kind of up in the air. And now with TREY Augustine over here, it really does kind of go for an interesting goalie rotation if we want to keep them all playing at their top. So,
yeah, I'd like to see, you get Michael Pastava up there, and then you get Kosa up there. Get them both their feet wet up there. Get them some games up there next year. Get rid of Talbot, and then you have Augustine to solidify down in Grand Rapids with the duo of either Kosa and Augustine or Pastava and Augustine. Whoever can hold down the Red Wings spot.
yeah, and there are definitely a lot of high hopes for Augustine to be the end result goalie here. They're saying he's the top prospect in the system. So very well could be that Augustine wins the matchup out of camp and makes the team, which I would consider unlikely, but not out of the picture. So I think that should wrap us up for our Michael Pastava earning his wings. I know we more of a just goalie rotation talk in general because things are going to get interesting when this all dials down. So that'll kind of wrap up that segment and lead us to the penalty box.
Welcome to the penalty box. This is the final segment of every episode. We like to end it on a fun note. It's our one chance to step out of hockey. We like to put the biggest idiot of the week into the box for a 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing into the penalty box?
Well, it's got to be the Detroit Red Wings for me. I personally am kind of sick of being this close to the playoffs and just not making it. Being that they were like the top 3 teams in the league in middle of December, halfway through the season, we were like, oh, wow. It'd have to be a substantial collapse for the Red Wings to not make the playoffs this year. And here we are after a substantial collapse. And again, now the longest playoff drought in NHL current history. So 10 seasons without playoffs, starting to feel it a little bit. Just a little bit, right?
Yeah, Darren McCarty went off. He kind of said it best. It's like there's not as much sweat and tears and passion into it. So, yeah, I say penalty box for sure. We think we'd get better and start moving forward.
Yeah, and it's like can't blame Yzerman, can't blame Coach McClellan, can't blame Dylan Larkin. I mean, it's just the whole thing has got to change. The entire ship has to be driving in a different direction. Something has to be going different here. So, yeah, just the Detroit Red Wings as a whole right now, being the parent club of the Griffins and knowing things are going so well down here, you only expect good things in the future. And you just wonder when that's going to start to click up there. So,
yep. So have fun in the box. How long are you putting them in for, Kyle?
We're going to go with a 5-minute major because just 10 years now of the longest playoff drought of current NHL team. So it's rough.
Yep. So who I'm going to throw into the penalty box, I'm going to kind of attack our organization too. I'm going to go with the Griffins, the Van Andel Arena Stadium. The songs are getting repetitive, like the whole routine of everything. It's like the same routine. I think it's time to mix it up. It's like everything is just by the book. Everyone does the same thing. It's time to get something exciting. Make it a little more different every game. Try to mix it up, not just the same pattern. Like it's even to the point where like the t-shirts are shot in the same spot every time. Like there's such a pattern to everything. I think it needs to be changed up and get some new songs, man. These songs are old at this point. Same songs over and over again every time.
Or just play better older songs. Either one works for me. Like the hot dogs, you kind of know when it's coming to you sometimes. As season ticket members who are there for most games, it would be nice just to see something different every now and then, not the same old puck race and maybe some different intermission games. I mean, we see a lot of them over and over again, but yeah, maybe we're due for a good old change up. I've seen some of the other stadiums and some of the other events going on. It's not that it's that much better or different. It's just I think we could change it up a little more. And yeah, I think the music, it's always the next trending stuff, but I'd like to hear some good older songs too, for real.
Yeah, just like quit playing the same 50 songs over and over and over and over and over again. Like we really just need to have some better songs. It's not the same thing. But yeah, 5-minute major also. But yeah, that should pretty much wrap up our episode. The Griffins have 3 remaining games. They're all away games. They got a Wednesday game on April 15th against the Iowa Wild at 8 p.m. Then they travel to Milwaukee on Friday, April 17th, play the Milwaukee Admirals at 8 p.m. And then Sunday, the last game of the year, they travel to Cleveland to play the Cleveland Monsters. That is a 3 p.m. game. So watch them on Flow TV. Don't forget to get your Flow TV prescription for the playoffs. Don't forget to get your tickets for the playoffs. The playoffs will be coming. There's going to be a little bit of a gap there because there's a play-in round, and we have a bye week the first round, so there'll be a little bit of a gap. We got one more regular episode for you. Then we'll have our season recap, and then we'll be covering the playoffs, and pretty much we'll have a couple fun things in the summer every other week, pretty much. So Yeah, it's wrapping up the season. And
Yeah, hopefully
crazy.
we get an exciting playoff experience here in Grand Rapids. Yeah, 3 more away games to get things figured out, tidy up, fix all the small things, pay attention to details, and yeah, time to crunch. So that includes us fans getting down to the Van Andel Arena and doing our part, making sure we cheer on our team. So hopefully there's some fun events down there for whatever matchup we end up with.
Yeah, hopefully this home field advantage is like on the weekend.
Thank you for listening to the
Am I
Griffins Pipeline
smelling
podcast.
moose sandwiches?
If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star
Yeah, let's
review.
have some venison.
We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network.
So
We are not
it
partnered
could get
with
interesting.
Grand Rapids
Let's
Griffins,
let's
Detroit
see
Red
what
Wings,
we
or
get
Toledo
into.
Walleye.
So
We are
go
not experts.
Griffins.
We are
Go
just
Griffins.
die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.